The concept of a new year, a fresh start, is universal. Cultures and religions across the globe mark this transition with unique traditions and celebrations. However, the specific month designated as the first month varies significantly. While the Gregorian calendar widely used today places January at the year's forefront, other systems, deeply rooted in religious and cultural contexts, offer alternative perspectives. These differences highlight the diverse ways humanity experiences and understands the passage of time. The Islamic calendar, for instance, follows the cycles of the moon, resulting in a lunar calendar where months shift annually relative to the Gregorian system. Similarly, the Jewish calendar intertwines lunar cycles with solar events, creating a unique rhythm of religious observance. Hindu traditions incorporate both lunar and solar calendars, reflecting a complex interplay of celestial events. Buddhist practices, while sharing a core philosophy, have adapted to local customs, leading to variations in New Year observances. This exploration delves into the diverse ways different faiths approach the concept of a new year, examining the historical development, religious significance, and spiritual implications of their respective calendars. By understanding these differences, we can cultivate greater appreciation for the rich tapestry of human beliefs and practices. Muharram, the first month of the Islamic calendar, holds profound religious significance for Muslims worldwide. It marks the beginning of the Hijri year, commemorating the Prophet Muhammad's migration or Hijra from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE. This pivotal event signifies the establishment of the Muslim community and the foundation of Islamic civilization. As a lunar calendar, the Islamic year is approximately 11 days shorter than the Gregorian year. Consequently, Muharram shifts annually, falling in different Gregorian months over time. The Islamic calendar's lunar nature exemplifies its close connection to natural cycles and its divergence from solar-based systems like the Gregorian calendar. Muharram is a time for reflection and spiritual renewal. Muslims observe the first 10 days with particular reverence, culminating in the day of Ashura. This day holds deep historical and religious significance, marking the day Prophet Moses and the Israelites were saved from Pharaoh. Muslims commemorate Ashura through fasting, prayer, and acts of charity. The month of Muharram serves as a reminder of pivotal events in Islamic history, prompting Muslims to contemplate their faith and strive for spiritual growth. The Gregorian calendar, with January as its inaugural month, enjoys near universal adoption for civil purposes. However, its origins lie not in biblical teachings, but in ancient Roman traditions. January derives its name from Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, transitions, and endings. This deity, often depicted with two faces looking in opposite directions, symbolized the duality of past and future, a fitting patron for a month marking a new year. The adoption of January as the year's commencement by the Roman Empire had a lasting impact. While the Julian calendar, implemented by Julius Caesar in 46 BCE, standardized the calendar and established January 1st as the new year, it was Pope Gregory XIII's reforms in the 16th century that aligned the calendar more closely with the solar year, leading to the Gregorian calendar we use today. This historical context raises questions about the spiritual implications of adhering to a calendar system rooted in pagan practices. For some, the secular nature of the Gregorian calendar allows for its use without compromising religious beliefs. However, others argue that aligning with calendars devoid of scriptural basis can signify a departure from divine guidance. The Jewish calendar, with its intricate interplay of lunar months and solar years, offers a unique perspective on the concept of a new year. This calendar observes two distinct beginnings, one marking the start of the religious year and another signifying the commencement of the civil year. Nisan, occurring in the spring, typically March or April, holds the distinction of being the first month of the Jewish religious calendar. This month commemorates the Exodus from Egypt, a pivotal event in Jewish history, and coincides with the celebration of Passover, a festival of liberation and redemption. Tishrei, on the other hand, marks the beginning of the Jewish civil year. This month, usually falling in September or October, is a time of profound introspection and spiritual renewal. It is during Tishrei that Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, is observed. This solemn yet joyous festival marks the creation of the world and the beginning of a 10-day period of repentance culminating in Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. The Jewish calendar's dual system of New Year observances highlights the multifaceted nature of time in Jewish tradition. Nisan, linked to the Exodus, emphasizes historical memory and spiritual liberation, while Tishrei focuses on introspection, renewal, and the divine creation of the universe. Section 5. Hindu Timekeeping, Chaitra and Mesha, Lunar and Solar New Year celebrations. Hinduism, with its rich tapestry of beliefs and practices, incorporates both lunar and solar calendars, leading to diverse New Year celebrations across different regions and communities. These calendars, often intricately interwoven, reflect the profound connection between celestial events and human experience in Hindu thought. Chaitra, the first month of the Hindu lunar calendar, typically falls in March or April. This month, associated with the arrival of spring and the blossoming of nature, is widely celebrated as the beginning of the new year in many parts of India. The solar new year, on the other hand, is observed when the sun enters the zodiac sign Aries, marking the beginning of the month of Mesha. This typically occurs in April and is celebrated with great fervor in various regions of India, particularly in the south. The Hindu New Year, regardless of whether it's observed in Chaitra or Mesha, is a time for spiritual reflection, renewal, and seeking blessings for the year ahead. Families gather, homes are decorated, special dishes are prepared, and traditional rituals are performed to welcome the new year with joy and hope. Section 6. Buddhist calendars, Vesak and Losar, marking spiritual milestones. Buddhism, while sharing a core set of teachings, has adapted to diverse cultural contexts, leading to variations in calendar systems and New Year observances. These variations, rather than diminishing the faith's unity, enrich its tapestry, reflecting the adaptability of Buddhist principles. Theravada Buddhism, prevalent in Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar, often observes Vesak as a significant celebration marking the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing away. This festival, typically falling in April or May, serves as a reminder of the Buddha's teachings and the path to enlightenment. Mahayana Buddhism, widely practiced in East Asian countries such as China, Japan, and Korea, often aligns with the Chinese lunar calendar, celebrating the new year in January or February. This celebration, deeply ingrained in local customs, blends Buddhist teachings with traditional practices. Tibetan Buddhism observes Losar, the Tibetan New Year, which typically falls in February or March. This joyous festival, rich in symbolism and rituals, marks a time for spiritual cleansing, renewal, and strengthening connections with the Dharma. While the specific dates and customs may vary, Buddhist New Year celebrations share a common thread: the emphasis on spiritual growth, compassion, and the pursuit of enlightenment. These celebrations offer an opportunity for reflection, renewal, and reaffirming one's commitment to the Buddhist path. Section 7. The allure of ancient customs, examining the roots of January's prominence. The near-universal adoption of January as the first month of the year speaks to the enduring influence of Roman culture and the gradual standardization of timekeeping. However, the pagan origins of January's name and its association with the deity Janus raise questions about its alignment with scriptural traditions. For some, the secular nature of the Gregorian calendar, with its roots in Roman imperial authority rather than religious doctrine, allows for its practical use without compromising faith. The separation of church and state, a principle embraced by many societies, supports this perspective. However, others argue that adhering to calendars devoid of scriptural basis can signify a subtle shift away from divine guidance. They emphasize the importance of aligning one's life with teachings found in sacred texts, including the observance of time and the marking of significant events. This debate highlights the complex interplay between cultural practices, historical influences, and religious beliefs. The adoption of a particular calendar system becomes more than a matter of convenience. It becomes a reflection of one's values, priorities, and understanding of the divine. Section 8. Spiritual authenticity, aligning with scriptural calendars. The exploration of diverse New Year traditions across different faiths raises a fundamental question: what constitutes spiritual authenticity in the observance of time? For many, the answer lies in aligning with calendars and practices rooted in their sacred scriptures. The Islamic calendar, based on lunar cycles and directly linked to pivotal events in Islamic history, exemplifies this alignment. Its observance, including the month of Muharram and the day of Ashura, is deeply intertwined with the teachings of the Quran and the life of the Prophet Muhammad. Similarly, the Jewish calendar, with its dual system of religious and civil New Years, reflects a profound connection to biblical narratives and divine commandments. The observance of Nisan, Passover, Tishrei, and Rosh Hashanah are all rooted in scriptural teachings, shaping the rhythm of Jewish life and reinforcing spiritual identity. While other faiths may incorporate elements from various sources into their calendars, the emphasis on scriptural alignment remains a significant aspect of spiritual authenticity. Adhering to practices grounded in sacred texts provides a sense of continuity, connection to one's spiritual lineage, and a framework for living in accordance with divine will. Section 9. Conclusion. Embracing the richness of diverse New Year traditions. The exploration of diverse New Year traditions across different faiths reveals a tapestry of cultural expressions, historical influences, and spiritual beliefs. From the lunar cycles of the Islamic calendar to the solar events shaping the Hindu New Year, from the biblical narratives underpinning the Jewish calendar to the adaptations of Buddhist practices across continents, each tradition offers a unique perspective on the concept of a new beginning. While some calendars adhere closely to scriptural mandates, others incorporate elements from various sources, reflecting the dynamic interplay between faith and culture. Understanding these differences fosters greater appreciation for the richness of human experience and the diverse ways people around the world mark the passage of time. Ultimately, the significance of a new year lies not merely in the turning of a calendar page, but in the opportunity for reflection, renewal, and spiritual growth. Whether observing Muharram, Rosh Hashanah, Vesak, or any other New Year tradition, individuals are invited to connect with their faith, embrace the chance for a fresh start, and strive to live in alignment with their values and aspirations. By embracing the diversity of New Year traditions, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves, our world, and the shared human experience of time's passage.